Yo, what's up everybody? Darth Manta here, bringing you my first ever PlayStation 5 video on my YouTube channel, and we are reviewing today Spider-Man Miles Morales. This is the second game in the new rebooted Spider-Man series, and it was an absolute blast to play. Alright, now let's get serious here for a minute. So Spider-Man Miles Morales, I would say, is a super short game. Well, shorter than you'd regularly think. Like the first Spider-Man, I believe the campaign was about 15 hours, which is pretty good. This campaign, I think, was about 7 total, but honestly, I did not mind because for me, it's honestly quality over quantity, right? And with this game, the quality was just on point. Like the graphics are beautiful for its first launch game. The swinging animations, from what you can see here, how awesome it is, how like the quantity of engineering is just beautiful. Now the side missions are also amazing as well. The difference between the side missions in this game and the first Spider-Man game are that the side missions in this one, you're just casually helping civilians. You're atoning to the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like the majority of the missions is like, oh, Spider-Man, somebody stole the truck with a bunch of toys in it for the Christmas drive. And what I really like about this is that it's super just casual. You're being like that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's not like they're not all, hey, the Shocker is kidnapping children or something like that. It's not like as high tone. I just feel like these side missions help Miles Morales grow as a character, gaining the people's trust throughout Harlem. Yeah, they were just all amazing. I can't really talk too much about the campaign because, like, the biggest spoiler would probably happen in, like, the second mission. But overall, it was really fun to play. See Miles Morales grow from not believing himself as Spider-Man, because, like, he throughout the campaign, he's like, the real Spider-Man's out of the city, so how am I supposed to do this? But you see that growth and development throughout the game, and that I really appreciated a lot. Moving on, the combat in this game, from what you can see now, is, well, I mean, like, these guys aren't really putting up much of a fight back because they're all running away. But I like the combat in this game actually better than the first one, because in the first game, a lot of your attacks were pretty much just kicks, right? And like there wasn't anything wrong with that, of course. It's just seeing here like Miles using both his fists and his legs to coordinate assault. Also, the venom attacks are awesome in this game, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, seeing the combat takedowns, they were more clean. They were just. I found that the animation was just done better in this game. But I mean, like that's expected to happen, because like. That's what they took the year to make this game for. It's pretty much a copy and paste of the first one, but they just develop it from the first one, which again is nothing wrong with that because like you're paying a cheaper price for this game. Like I paid $70 and I definitely got my money's worth for sure. What else is there? Oh yes, the suits. The suits are so much better than from the first Spider-Man game. Like I feel like there was one suit I didn't like. It was the one with the cat in your little knapsack thing. I just hate cats in general, so like I didn't really like the suit that much. I never really use it. But the other suits are just awesome. Plus, from what you'll see later on in this video, the Into the Spider-Verse suit, that's gonna at least take up like 2 hours of your time to play because of just how much fun you'll have with it. And that's why like I didn't mind that this was a shorter game as well, because I spend so much time just swinging around and just free roaming. Like in the first Spider-Man game, one day I got on for like 2 hours, and those 2 hours I did nothing but swing around in the city. Now I expect I'll probably be doing it for at least 4 hours for this game because like just the swinging is so awesome. Like they really got it on point. I mean, like how free you are as Miles Morales. Like they just took the time to make sure that it was kind of sloppy in a way, to show, like, because he's only been training as Spider-Man for a year, right? And to see how he's not like as efficient as Peter Parker shows that they really took the time to make these new flips and tricks. Now moving on to the characters in this game. So obviously the character Miles Morales, we know from the cover, he was, again, like I said, his development was awesome. It was a lot of fun seeing his journey to gain his confidence on being Spider-Man and not just a sidekick. His friend Genki, like in the Spider-Man movies, which as Ned, he's the guy in the chair. Basically, he helps out whenever you need it. This guy was an absolute beast. He was there for me in the start. He was there for you at the end. This guy, he's so much more fun than MJ in the first game. MJ was also, I guess, the woman in the chair, but with MJ in the first Spider-Man game with Peter Parker, all she really did was give Peter crap about, protecting her too much, because she's like, oh, I may be human, but I'm not made of glass. But it's like, yeah, you are. Like, if Rhino were to just tap you, you'd be dead. That's how it works. But Genki knows to stay back. He doesn't, he never gives Miles smack or anything. He's always super supportive of him, even when he disagrees. Which actually, really, he never really disagrees. He's just giving an alternate opinion. But he was super funny, and he even gave Miles an app to help connect with the people of New York City better, which I found to be awesome, because it was something different than the first game, which is oh yeah, you just have to happen to find people, which I don't know, I just felt like this was a cool new take, and it was definitely more efficient. The Tinkerer, which is the main villain, I can't really discuss on it too much, because I don't want to say who it is, but at the same time, you'll if you don't guess who it is, then I don't know. It should be pretty obvious. The game makes it super obvious. I don't know if they were trying to, but whatever. Peter was also, excuse me, Spider-Man was also super fun in this game, like Peter Parker. He's with you for the first mission, but that was also seen from the demo, so no spoilers there. But he sets up one of the side missions is he sets up these training modules, which I found awesome, because you kind of get an insight on Peter's past missions and how he grew up as Spider-Man, how he developed. And it was super helpful. The training really helped me, even though I didn't really need it, but to just unlock those new abilities afterwards, it was just super what's the word? Sorry, satisfying to oh my god, I can't speak today, guys. I'm sorry. It was super satisfying to get the ultimate in those challenges. I really enjoyed. Oh yeah, look at that little Spider-Man 3 zap point thing. I love it. Sorry. Anyways, continuing and moving on. In comparison to this game and the first Spider-Man game, it's really hard to say which one is better than the other. The first Spider-Man game had a better story. There's no denying that. Him with Dr. Octopus and Devil's Breath with Mr. Negative. It was just, it was a crazy campaign, and it was super memorable. But this one, not saying the story was bad for Miles Morales, not at all. But just, I felt if the story was longer in this game, then it may have actually beat the original Spider-Man. I may have actually would have given it a full 10 out of 10. That's the one thing that's really stopping me, is the length of the story. But at the same time, what I respect about this game in terms of story is that you can replay the missions that you complete after you're done. Instead, because in the first Spider-Man game, I replayed it before Miles Morales came out, so I can just catch up on the campaign and everything that happened. But then I had to make a whole new separate save file. So all my side missions and stuff were gone, and that just kind of sucked for me. But with this one, it's you don't have to do that. I also like that this game said do you need a recap of what happened from the first game? Again, I didn't need it, but it's nice to see that they care and they want to know that their players are caught up on everything. So overall, with this game, my final verdict is definitely a 9.5 out of 10. This was a revolutionary launch game for PS5. I definitely, if you don't want to spend the full money, that's fine. I would recommend paying it. If you don't have a PS5, you do not need to worry, because you can buy the game on PS4 as well. Now, the graphics are actually significantly different, obviously, but having it on PlayStation 5 with the haptic feedback, feeling that swinging motion, feeling like you are actually Spider-Man, was just a huge game changer for me, and it was just such an amazing time playing this. And look at this weather change system. Look at how fast it is, guys. Look at this. Ready? Done like that. You would have had to like wait at least like a minute for that transition to happen. Which again, I also, maybe this is gonna be a PS5 review in general too, but the load times on this console is just absolutely crazy. And just this game in general just shines on that. It just shows like this is what the next generation is gonna be like. And yeah, I can't wait to. I'm probably even gonna replay it right now. I just finished the game the other day. Probably gonna start up New Game Plus because I have to unlock some other suits that are only unlocked from that. But yeah, just to show like how instantly I'm willing to go back to it. The final battle was just. I remember looking over at my brother while I was playing it, and I'm like, dude, this is super awesome. He's like, yeah, I could tell, because like I was beaming the whole time. I was smiling because it was like my combat attacks with the combination of the Venom powers, which also, by the way, really well done in this game. I love the Venom Punch, the camouflage, the way how you kind of like jump up and do like a ground pound with the electricity was super awesome. The people you fight with these powers are really cool. I'm talking about the underground. The Roxanne security guys, they're kind of just like the Silver Sable people from the first one, so it's not that much different. But the underground in this game was really cool to fight. Like, they basically can form weapons from any form of matter, as long as, like, you know, they actually have it with them, of course. But it just provided so much more of a challenge. Like, I haven't had this much of a challenge since the first Spider-Man DLC with the Hammerhead Goons, how they got the Sable Tech. But it was really cool, these people. Yeah, I kind of thought that they were brought up too quickly, because it kind of just shows that they took down all these corporations, but you never really see that happen, which I didn't really like. But I mean, that's okay. Like, they made this game in a year, which is like super impressive, you know, with the snow and everything. I really like that as well, how you have New York City at its different effect. You never see many games, you know, take place in the snow. Like, the only other time you can do that is Arkham Origins. And that game is just a beaut. I may even review that someday too. Anyways, that's all for my review. Again, I give this final verdict as a 9.5. It's the same as I would give the first Spider-Man game. The reason why, again, for the first Spider-Man game, I would give it a 9.5 is just because MJ really ruined it. Like, all the time she just complains about everything, about how she feels like she's useless because, or actually no, not that she feels like she's useless, she feels like she should be doing more, and that Peter himself thinks she's useless. But I don't know, that was just annoying in general, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, and that's the reason why for the first one. For this game, I also give it a 9.5 as well, just because the story was a little too short, but again, nothing wrong with that. Well, that was my review. Now for the little surprise I have at the end, where I show my recreation of the What's Up Danger scene from the Into the Spider-Verse movie. Enjoy.
I see this spark in you. It's amazing. Whatever you choose to do with it, you'll be great.
Our family doesn't run from things.
You're the best of all of us, Miles. You're on your way.
When do I know I'm Spider-Man?
You won't. That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger?
Made them myself. They fit perfectly.